I'm Haley Taylor, and you're listening to the Rough Draft Diaries. We're driving back into Toledo for this episode of the Rough Draft Diaries. I'm parking right now just outside of the Zeph Center, where we're about to meet with Michelle. I'm going to follow you out here because I don't know.
Oh, okay.
We're going this way, right?
Yes.
Oh, right here. Okay,
Yes.
I met Michelle in the lobby of the Zeph Center in downtown Toledo. She seemed absolutely relaxed and at ease as she led me back to one of their conference rooms. And I have to admit, it kind of surprised me, given the subject we're about to talk about. So, first question. How did you, or why did you end up here at the Zeph Center?
For heroin addiction.
The Zeph Center is a local nonprofit that provides services to individuals with mental illness or with addiction. Michelle's addiction didn't start with heroin, though. It began much farther back.
Teenager, I did the typical teenager stuff, and I, I dabbled in drugs when I was like 15 years old. I started, just gradually progressed. I think drugs have always been in my life.
Michelle assured me multiple times that she had a normal childhood. The drugs she experimented with in high school were marijuana and alcohol. It wasn't until she started experiencing back pain that things started to change.
I was born, when I was born, I had scoliosis when I was little. I've got scoliosis in the bottom of my lower back. And I think I've been pregnant 4 times. I've had 4 children. I think gradually as time went by, it's just, gotten worse and worse. So that's really when it started with painkillers, with being prescribed painkillers, which I think is pretty common nowadays.
So Michelle became addicted. And when she moved from Toledo, Ohio to Miami, Florida, things got worse. She chose not to find a new doctor and a new prescription, but instead to buy painkillers from dealers on the street. And she wasn't the only one who had adopted this method.
And because there was such a high demand for Percocet and Vicodin, whatever the case might be, on the street, the price of the pills was going up because of the demand, and eventually you just can't afford it. It ends up being a cost thing, but you're already addicted, and because of the physical addiction, not that you don't have a choice, because I guess you do have a choice, but you don't.
Michelle described the experience of taking painkillers like turning into Wonder Woman. The pain went away, and yet she was energized to get everything she needed to get done. They were her magic pills, and when they became too expensive, she moved back to Toledo, Ohio, and tried to find a cheaper option. Heroin seemed to be the answer to her problems. It gave her relief not only from her physical pain, but also from any emotional pain.
Have you ever had an X-ray and they put that lead? It's similar to that physical feeling. I don't know if anybody else has described it like that, but to me, that's what it was like. It was like being wrapped up in a nice warm blanket. Of course, after being addicted to heroin for so long, that blanket doesn't feel that good anymore. You're feeling suffocated by it. And I think emotionally, it dampened down the depression or the, whatever you would need to address that you really are not wanting to face, kind of blocks that, and it gives you a euphoric feeling like everything is right with the world, everything is good. So you obviously don't have to deal with problems because everything's good until you come down.
Withdrawal affects the same parts of your body as experiencing a high would. It's not just a physical reaction, it's also an emotional reaction. When you're riding the high while taking the drug, you're crashing down while withdrawing from it.
Pain, it's like the worst case of influenza that you could possibly ever imagine. Everything hurts, you're ill, like if you had the flu. And then emotionally, I think it's almost as bad, if not worse, because you have feelings of guilt, and you're angry, and you're upset, and just every bad feeling that you could possibly have is rolled all into one, on top of feeling really, really terrible physically. You know what I mean? The attraction to painkillers is, like I said, they not only alleviate the pain, physical pain, but they alleviate the mental pain also.
So addiction is a circle. You begin, you take the drug, which makes you feel good. You keep on taking it, you become dependent. You try to withdraw, but the drug makes you feel bad, so you take more. The line continues and continues until you're back where you started. Michelle believes you need to stop. Stop the circle. So that's what she did. And that's what we'll talk about on the next episode of the Rough Draft Diaries. You'll have to tune in to find out how the story ends. For now, I'm Haley Taylor, and thanks for listening.